Yeah, Keith, it's all stay away from wibbly wobbly. Right, we're going live now to Christine Saunders and Chris Phillips in the UK. Apparently, I thought he was out in the States. He's not. He's in the UK, so... No, you love it when you get your geography wrong.
Yay, it's Tuesday.
No.
Hey, how's it going?
How is everyone?
Hey, chaps,
Yeah,
how are we?
good.
Fantastic. Right, well, I tell you what, I'm under starter's orders here. I've got my drums ready. So when Chris...
Yeah.
I tell you what, mate, right? My first set of drums years ago, when I was 6.5, my father brought me home a set of Premier drums. My mother nearly fainted.
Well, when I first started, I bought a drum kit and then set up in my mum's lounge, and she walked in and was just like, "What the hell is that?" As she walked through the door, I did like what any person can do who can't play the drums, and just made a lot of noise and was like, "Da-da!"
Yeah, there you go. How good was that? And everyone's like, "Oh, need Nurofen now. Get me some painkillers for God's sake." Right,
yeah.
well, I'm gonna put my hands
them in the loft.
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you a story about that after, but I'll let Christine take control of this because I'm going to put my hands behind my head, feet on the desk, and away we go.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris Phillips, for being with us today. I'm excited to have you.
Thank you.
I met Chris through Ryan Hartley. Again, it seems like I feel... Ooh, there's a little bit of feedback.
What you got there? You in a cave?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Are you listening to the show at the same time?
No.
Interesting. Okay. We'll keep going. Okay, so I met Chris through Ryan Hartley about 2 months ago, and now I get to share you with the world. So you are going to tell a little bit about yourself, but I'm excited because you are a drummer and you have an amazing story, and you know I love to have people come on and share their story. So, Chris Phillips, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, I originally from Hull in England, but I ended up moving down south to like Bath, Trowbridge way. That's where I met Ryan. And we went to university together. And I just started playing drums and playing in bands, and just kind of self-taught. Then I moved on, and it just progressed from there. And I spent the last, I don't know, 12 years, something along those lines, to just building up my skills, my ability, to the point now where I just do music for a living. It's my career. I spend a lot of time teaching young kids drums in multiple schools around England, and private lessons, and then gigging and touring, and that's pretty much my life. So pretty cushy. But I spent a lot of years, a lot of years honing that and making sure that it was right, especially over the last couple of years, and with the success that I've had so far has also come with like some real challenges down the years. But yeah, that's kind of that's me, really.
That's awesome. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of those challenges because I think it's an important part of your story. Yeah. But so this band that you have, can you tell us a little? We're going to get into this later, but what's the band's name?
The band is called Cielo Drive. But most people probably know it as Scout Killers, because we started off as Scout Killers about 8-9 years ago, I think. And we progressed the band and we grew it, and then it got to a point where we really needed to make a change to the name because the name wasn't very good. And so we've recently just done that. So it's a little bit confusing at the moment because we've we're in this transition period where we've got a new album, like some music videos, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff. We signed to Music House, and we're going to be working with Domino PR to release the record. So that will all be kicking off in March. But until it does, we've got a lot of kind of material as Scout Killers, and it's not all quite transition yet because it's kind of a process which is quite long-winded. But so for anyone who wants to kind of find the music, it's on Spotify and YouTube, iTunes, all under Scout Killers at the moment until the name completely transitions. But that'll be when the day the record is released. Yes.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So we have a couple of songs to play.
Yes.
But we were, I'm going to do those a little bit later. So, Dave, I'm not sure if you have a song for this quick break, and then we're going to come back and hear more from Chris. What song are we going to play?
We've got two of his tracks, haven't we? We've got Freak Show.
We do.
We've got Freak Show. I can't even say it now. I've got Monday's teeth in. That's the problem. I've got Freak Show and Keep Telling Me Lies.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
okay, we can.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one would you like? Top, middle, or bottom?
My favorite is Freak Show.
That's not my favourite. My favourite's the other one. But if you want to go with that one, that's fine with me.
Exactly what you do. You're killing me. Go now. Leave it alone. No, it's wrong.
There you go, that's Chris Phillips on drums. Bashing the hell out of him. Oh, but he needed a fisherman's friend after that. Right, we're going back live to the guys this morning, or afternoon even, wherever you are in the world.
How could that not be your favourite song, Dave?
Well, I was bashing away on my pots and pans I've got lined up here on my desk, because I didn't have time to get the kit out, so I've got half the saucepans out the kitchen lined up and wooden spoons like you won't believe.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. When I was younger, my brother used to take chopsticks and drums on his desk. It was hilarious. He still loves to do that stuff.
He needs therapy. If
He does need
If
therapy.
he's using chopsticks, what's he doing? Get them stuck up your nose. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. So, Chris,
Yes.
we are here with you today to talk a little bit about your story and your journey in music. And like you had stated a little bit earlier, there was some challenges, and I don't want to, dwell on those, but your story is important and it matters. And so I want to ask you to tell a little bit about your journey and how music and drums and it has been for the last 10 to 12 years of your life, and the ups and downs and the triumphs that you've had. So it's you.
Okay. I don't know where to start. That's a lot of years.
After you're 11 plus.
It's a weird one. If I go right back even further than that, I remember when I was a little kid, I would listen to Guns N' Roses with my friend in a little town called Hedden in England, and I'd listen to these tracks. Appetite for Destruction just like blew me away, and I was only about 5 or 6. I remember listening to these, and I always remember being drawn to the drums. And then unfortunately I left Head and moved into the centre of Hull, different school, different set of friends, and you just kind of get drawn into doing what your mates say when you're at school. And I kind of went through all this. I didn't really learn how to play or do anything musical. I stopped listening to bands that I actually liked because you just want to be one of the crowd. And it wasn't until I actually started university, and I met Ryan, and Ryan is a big music lover, and I met all these different people through music. That was the moment I was like, I'm finally gonna do the thing that I love, and I'm gonna go. And that's when I bought the drum kit, and I put it in my mum's room, and she was like, "This is gonna be a fad. You're never gonna do this. This is the." She was being a realist, because that was generally how I was. I'd just have these fads and just do things, but I just played, and I played, and I played. I drove everybody mad, and I just kept playing. It's really interesting because Ryan has got some videos of me when I couldn't actually play on like an old Nokia phone, like years and years ago, and it was, oh my, it's so bad, and it's so bad, and I just carried on playing and playing and playing. I was really fortunate that a lot of friends who I got quite close with were just much better musicians than I was, and that really helps, because we were playing. Me and a few friends decided to start a band, and then Dave, the bass player at the time, was like, "I've booked us a gig." And we're like, "Dave, we can't play anything. We don't know any songs. We can hardly play. And you booked us a gig." He's like, "Yeah." So we've got like 6 weeks. And we spent 6 weeks in the studio and wrote 4 songs and performed them to like every family member, every friend. I've never been so scared in all my life. It was nuts. And that's where it all started, really. Like when I got to that point, I played that show and I got off, and I was just like, oh, I want to do this permanently. And I just remember like literally having conversations with my mum and other people saying, I want to do this, but I don't know how. I'm not good enough. I'm this and that. And it was tough. But I just carried on, and I just played with multiple bands, different musicians, and that's when I joined Scout Killers at the time, who again were completely miles better musicians, which if you're going to learn an instrument, just play with better musicians because you have to learn quick. And they were just, they just blew me away. And we all just grew together as a band, and this is like 10 years later. And as I've progressed, I've just grown my knowledge in everything, because, and teaching was one of those things. At first, I just felt as though I was a bit of an imposter doing it. But actually, as I've gone on, I've realised that teaching, a good drummer doesn't necessarily make a good teacher, and a good teacher, and vice versa. So I think I sit in the middle of both, and I've had some real big success, especially in the teaching department. So I work for a couple of schools, 3 schools, and then have private lessons, and I make my living from that, really. Because being in a band is not cheap. There's a lot of expense. So I make I've just done very well in that department. And doing session work. For other bands, I've played. I played for Black Forge. I've played for St. Apache, a band who have changed their name now, called Blitzrig, and toured Europe. Played festivals. So I've kind of ticked all the boxes, really. I just need to play Glastonbury now.
That's a fantastic story.
But it's just grown over time. And I think the key message to everybody is, like, if you're really passionate about something, for me, the 12 years seems like a year. It doesn't seem like a long time, but when I look back, I'm like, geez, I've been doing this for a long, long time. But it doesn't feel like that, because I've just continued I love it, and I just continue to work at it, and it just it's just a part of who I am. So it's not work for me. It's just an easy process that I just love doing, challenges and all. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're gonna listen to now Dave's favorite song.
Yeah.
Keep Telling Me Lies, and we'll come back and we'll dig a little bit deeper. So we'll be right back.
This is a ballad, apparently, isn't it?
No.
I said this is a ballad, apparently.
Yeah, not quite.
Brace yourself.
tell me you put my trust in
There you go, that's Cielo Drive. With Chris Phillips on drums. Our special guest this morning with Christine Saunders. Live on Expat Radio. Very good morning to you, good afternoon and evening, wherever you are in the world. Oh, I need a deep breath now after that.
Okay, I like that one too.
See, it's one of them that grows on you.
Yes.
It's very. If you're on a treadmill on one of them with that blasting in your head, you don't stop.
Yes.
I think we wrote that one to be catchy. So yeah, it's definitely. You're not the only one to say that. It's one that kind of grows on you.
I'll tell you,
it has got that catchy melody, which was the whole
song,
point.
That song was very much many moons ago. Right, I was training for the London Marathon, and I had a headset on, and the idea was you did 6 miles a night, and then on a Saturday you did a 20 mile run on a Saturday. So I'd
when we finally get the release date for the new record Ruins, it's very much of all that style. It's definitely the heaviest stuff we've wrote with. Some real kick to it. So somehow, yeah, I'm very proud of that record.
Very good. And I think you should throw a few horns and trumpets and a few wind chimes in there. Just a bit of atmospheric stuff,
Well, I won't want to take the atmospheric stuff away from Bo and Julian. They like doing all that with the guitars, so having that I think they get cross with me.
What are you doing? But I'm just playing a bit of cello.
Oh, gosh.
I've got enough to do. I've got all 4 limbs going, so I'm not doing that.
Oh my gosh, all 4 limbs. So let's talk about that, because you're self-taught, and how I guess my question is, that's cool that you are self-taught, and then now you are teaching. How does that help you in that process with your students?
Well, massive. Well, there's pros and cons to it all. Being self-taught is works on. Like I said, I was really fortunate that I just fell into bands even though I couldn't play. So I had to kind of try and figure out how to play. And being self-taught is really difficult, and you always find you get to a certain point. And I have had some lessons, but very, very rarely. There's one guy called Stuart who is a phenomenal teacher, and he actually, I'm actually going to be doing some work with him, teaching wise, because he has his own music school. But he really helped me with more of the sight reading stuff. So playing wise, I think as a drummer, you've got to have 2 components. You've got to be able to, especially if you're in a band where you're writing your own parts. So I play in bands where I have to create my own parts. So you can only do that by playing in bands, and you've got to have an ear and a knack for it, and kind of work out where things go and what's appropriate for the song. And then there's the whole musicality side of things, so the sight reading and writing and stuff like that. And I'm okay at it. I'm not the best at it, but it's that helps me in my teaching as a guiding point, because my lessons are very much from the. I teach people who want to play music, write music, and be in bands, or trying to progress to some type of to that level. So what I use is the tools that I've picked up over the years that have really helped me as a player. Some of that's been self-taught, so it's like, this little exercise has really helped me with a fill, but then there's other things where people have shown me, and you're like, there's a standard thing. You've got to be able to do this well, and I teach that as well, and it puts people in a good position to take their drumming forward. So they're not in a position where I am, where you're thrown in at the deep end. You're able to play up to a certain point, get yourself into a band and not be so stressed out.
Yeah.
But
So
it's there's pros and cons for both. I think if you can do both really well, then you're going to be an absolute monster of a player. But then you can play in bands and not read music, and that is fine as well. Or you can sit there and the only way you can play is by reading off a sheet of paper and playing, and that's fine as well. They've both got kind of pros and cons to them.
right.
Yeah.
So back in the day,
Yeah.
when we were chatting prior to coming on, we had talked about, this challenge of potentially being this band, and sometimes you play in venues where there's just a few people listening, and you're hoping that it's like a room full of people, and sometimes it's just not. What kept you going?
Yeah, so when you first start out in bands, and still to this day, it's difficult. The music industry and the music scene in England is a difficult one. There's a lot of bands, and it's saturated and it's challenging. But so at first you expect to play to one or two people, but as time goes on, your audience grows and you start getting more people, and you think, and then just as you think you've cracked it and you've turned a corner, you end up having a show with no one there. And when you travel, back in the day when you've travelled 5 hours to a show and the music venue make you pay for a cup of tea, and there's no one there, it's tough. And that is how it is, and we all, me and the guys and anyone who I've played with, have all been in that situation, and it is soul destroying. But I think the mentality that I've always taken is if that one guy in that crowd, or even if it's a sound guy, really likes the record and we play well and perform well, and he goes and buys that record and then shows his mate, then for me that is like, you've won. That's the accomplishment, because that's how you've gained a fan who is listening to the music that you've done, and that's how I've always tried to overcome them scenarios. And you've got to be, you've got to be happy if someone's listening to music after a gig. Someone buys one CD. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's, that's a step in the right direction. Right. And that's how I've always tried to stay positive about that whole difficult situation. Yeah.
Right.
That's how I keep myself motivated, and I just love playing shows. I've been very fortunate that the band I'm in now, they're all my very best friends. They're literally like my brothers. So I just love playing with them anyway. We like playing music with them anyway, even if it wasn't in a band setting. We were just messing around, having a jam. It's like, not all bands are in that fortunate position where they're all so close, which has been really helpful as well. So we're in it as a brotherhood that through good.
Yeah.
That's how I've always that's my mentality behind the whole thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to take another quick break, and we don't have any more of your songs to play, unfortunately, for everyone, but we're going to go out with Maroon 5, give a little more, and we'll be right back.
All right, cool.
12:41, it's the All Day Special on Expat Radio. Very good day to you, wherever you are. 119 countries tuned in this afternoon, and we're live with Christine Saunders and Chris Phillips back in the UK this afternoon.
Nice. I like it.
You like that one?
I do. I haven't heard that song. That's pretty cool. I love Maroon 5.
See, I think you've lived in a cupboard all these years. Stuff I play for you sometimes, you say, what on earth's that? And all you've grown up on is Peters and Lee and a bit of Candy Crush from the Disney films, isn't it? That you listen to. Disney Hour in the States. That's what you've grown up on.
Well, you do realize I'm old, Dave, so...
Mickey and Minnie Hour.
Yeah, Roadrunner.
Okay,
oh my gosh.
Honey, let's go. There's nothing better than Top Cat back in the 70s and 80s. That's what I say. Whether Chris remembers that, well, I was about 43 when that was on in the 70s and 80s. Chris isn't that old, obviously.
What band are you talking about?
We're on about old programmes here that you won't even know. Your mum and dad probably won't even remember them. That's how young you are.
I'm not that young. Not that young.
Oh my gosh. So we've got about 15-ish minutes, a little less than that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about these, the lessons that you're doing and how people can, tap into your knowledge and learn from you. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So especially over the last year or so, I've been developing I've set up my own business, and that's been going really well. So you can find all my information on my own personal webpage. There's a bunch of videos of playing and band stuff, and all my contacts, which is www.chrisphillipsdrummer.co.uk. And in the next month, I think I'm going to be doing a lot of I've got the whole setup now. I'm just tweaking it. I'm going to be doing some Skype drum lessons, so people can contact me. We can from the States or Oz or wherever you want, and we can do some drum lessons. So I'm just putting all my syllabus to that together at the moment. So if people want to book in, feel free to contact me off that. Hit my up, and I've got all my contacts on there. Yeah,
that's awesome. So if somebody wanted to be a drummer, do you suggest just going and buying drums? How do you get started?
I would probably don't do what I did and just buy a kit, because don't do that. I'd just suggest going and having a few lessons with someone, just a reputable drummer somewhere, just saying, right, I just want 2 or 3 lessons, just to see how you get on, see how you feel about it, I think you'll just know. I've had new starters, and they've come and they've I've always wanted to try this, it's just a one-off thing. And then they just continue to book, because they're just I love it, and then they go off and buy a drum kit. Obviously, drum kits are noisy, so I'd suggest you buy an electric drum kit to practice on at home first, because acoustic drum kits and cymbals are hugely expensive. So if you want to play it in your own home, electric drum kits are the way. Roland kits are very nice. Practice on there, and then if you don't like it, you can get rid of it pretty easy.
I remember, I've got to tell you, right, when I started playing many moons ago, I was about 13 or 14, I think, when we started a band, and we went to this mate of mine called Simon Forrest. He lived in a terraced house 3 stories high, and my mother wouldn't let me play the drums anymore in the house, because it was a converted bungalow. And it was everything was open flat. You could hit the neighbours up the road. I mean, you're talking 300 yards up the road. The neighbours could hear me bashing away on this bloody thing.
They're so loud. Yeah. So with an electric drum kit, you can turn the volume up and down. So it's put your earphones in, and just no one hears a thing.
Exactly. It's ideal, isn't it? But I remember being in this townhouse, climbing up these flight of stairs with the bass drum and the kettle drums and the cymbals and everything, and I've got up to the top of these things, and he'd actually soundproofed. He was a keyboard player, and he'd soundproofed this room. And his mother said, "Right, once you're in there, you can't come out." Which she actually lets us in.
We have a little running joke in our band of how our favourite part of being in the band is the pack down and lugging all our equipment everywhere over and over again, upstairs, flights, setting up, you play a show, and then do the same again and come back down, and it's just it's full on. Especially when all my bandmates just leave me and I've got the book off, and they just walk out and go for beers, and I'm just sat there with this massive drum kit.
Yeah, you get arms like an orangutan, because you're carrying everything on your own. You're by the time you finish, you get arms down to your ground.
Sorry, mate, you broke up there. I didn't hear that bit.
I said, by the time you finish lugging all that gear around, you've got arms like an orangutan.
Oh, man. Yeah, I do. That's probably why I'm so skinny.
Oh my God. So, hey, I have one quick question for you, and I ask everyone this question. And then we'll go through your contact information again. But Chris, what scares you the most?
What scares me the most?
Mm-hmm.
She asks this to everyone. It could be anything. So this
growing old and not achieving the things that I've set out. So I am growing old, and there's still things I want to achieve, but kind of I want to achieve them before I get too old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Growing old. I don't want to grow old. I just want to stay this age forever.
Yeah. Is this the best age so far?
It is actually. It's certainly been the most chilled, and I finally got to the place where I want to be musically. So I'm certainly the happiest I've been for quite some time. But that's down to getting myself in this position, which has taken me a long time to do. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So the new album's coming out in March, and what's next?
Well, there's not a release date yet. It's going to the PR company in March, and they will give us when they think best is for a release date. So I reckon it's probably going to be. May time the record will drop, I think. Mm-hmm. But as soon as we get that date, we'll tell the world what date the record's going to drop. Sorry, what? Yeah. What did you say after that?
Oh, I don't remember. That's okay. What's next? Like, what's next besides all this amazing teaching and all that kind of stuff?
So, band-wise, we've got, the record will drop. We're going to try and do a little tour before the record drops, and then we'll do a bigger one after. So we're just planning that right now. The record will drop. We've got 2 music videos that are going to drop, which will all be part of the PR. So I think over March, April, May, June it's going to be really big, really cool. I'm going to be really busy. Band-wise, and then just carrying on the teaching, growing my business, getting more, and just playing more, and just keep everything just moving. I've spent the last year building to kind of this moment right now, where things are about to start, really happening. So I'm really excited. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Any ideas about coming to the States to play?
I don't know. It's kind of, you've got to grow your own audience in England to get to a certain point. Then where I think the next step, if we were going to do that, would be Europe. But if a bunch of venues want to book us, then we'll think about it. I don't really want to say no, but we'd have to plan it carefully. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do, right? We're in. I've got contact. I've got Mel Holmes, who was the drummer out of Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, and he's got a record label back in the UK that he owns, and he books acts obviously to go out and do concerts. So I can put you in touch with him as well.
That would be amazing. More contacts the better, man. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir. And I just want to ask you as well. While you've been playing the drums, at any point has one of the sticks smashed on you when you were playing, and you thought bugger, and you can't find a spare?
Yeah, literally, my last show, just before Christmas, we supported Head PE, we opened for them, and I was playing, and I snapped four sets of sticks that show.
Oh my God.
It was really frustrating. I actually got down to my last pair of sticks, and I was like, please don't snap.
Yeah.
I got lucky. Usually I have a big bag full, but I only had a few because it was Christmas, and I was going where I hadn't got any shows pens, so I just didn't buy any. But it was a bit nerve-wracking.
There you go. That's one of the nightmares that you can imagine. Something like that happening is when, you know, you're doing a drum solo or something like that, and all of a sudden, ding!
I've been playing and my drumsticks flown out my hand. I've been playing and my cymbals have flown off. All of a sudden I've hit something and it's fallen down when I'm playing on house kits in the years. I played the O2 Academy in London, and we had to play a house kit. And as I was playing the house kit, the kit was all sellotaped up, and it just kept getting lower and lower and lower as I played it. I was literally playing it on the floor where all the stands kept dropping and my snare between my legs kept dropping. It was challenging. Every song I had to keep pulling everything back up. So yeah, it's not all glam.
I think you should give Christine a lesson.
Well, when I get the Skype lessons going, we'll definitely go there.
And I think it
oh my
should be
God!
filmed.
When that happens, I'm videoing it.
Exactly. You've got to film it. You've got to film it. You playing.
We'll have an AC/DC groove by the end of the lesson. I guarantee it.
You'll be head banging. That hair design will be well out the window. It'll be everywhere. You'll look windswept.
So, let me ask this question, Chris. So, I've been to a plenty of concerts, and so this whole tossing the drumsticks into the audience, what's that all about?
I don't know really. I don't know. I think if you're world famous and you just get given sticks for the fun of it, you can just throw them away. But when you're paying £15 a pop, I'm not going to throw them into the crowd.
Exactly.
But
right.
I think it's a fan thing, innit? I have done it a couple of times in when we play Bath and Trowbridge and stuff. It gets really busy because it's more our local area, and sometimes the sticks are almost broke. They're wearing, so they're useless to me. So I just throw them, and people have them, and they just take them away. And if that makes them happy, I'm happy.
Awesome. Dave, any last questions for Chris?
No, well, what I was going to say was, I'm trying to think, one of the first things that I was given, along with the kit, I got a suitcase full of all these accessories that came with the drum kit, you see. And I'll never forget getting this cowbell.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Right, so I had this
cowbell.
Oh, lovely. Right, so I had this cowbell, and one night, for some reason, I was only young, and the kit was set up in my bedroom, and I'd sleepwalked.
Sorry, I've lost you, man. I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear.
Can you
There
hear me
you
now?
are.
There you are.
Right, I was sleepwalking. One night I was sleepwalking, and I went and sat on the kit. And apparently, my mother said all she could hear was me hitting this cowbell monotonously, over and over and over. Right? And then I woke the whole house up, probably the neighbours as well, with me just going bang, 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 bang. And they thought it was an alarm going off somewhere, and it was me hitting this cowbell, and I was with the stick. And I didn't know I was doing it. It was just how I found it, and I was hitting it. I've no idea. It's very weird how I was actually in that position. But
you're a born drummer. That means your destiny is to play. If you're even thinking about drums in your sleep.
Oh, it's frightening.
So you've got to come on and do some Skype lessons now as well.
Oh God,
there you go.
We'd have a scream, mate. The rhythm method would come into it.
When you do it, all right?
Got a video of that too.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Perfect.
Oh my God.
Right,
awesome. Well, thank you, Chris,
no
for
problem.
coming. This was awesome, and I'm so excited for the rest of your journey. I'm going to definitely keep some close tabs on what's happening with you and the band. And it's been an honor to have you on today, and look forward to the next phase.
Yeah, we'll keep playing your songs as well. Keep sending them out to us, then I'll keep playing them for you, no problem.
Brilliant. Thank you, man, and thank you for having me. Cheers, guys.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, we're going to go out to Michael Jackson Rock with you. Have a great week.
Have a great week, guys. Cheers then, bye.